Welcome, everyone. This is the captain's meeting for the Western Canada Kayak Fishing Trail East Slope Classic, happening this weekend, Saturday. Oh, I have an echo.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Perfect. So let's kick things off. I think for those that haven't been there before, the Cold Lake Classic is lake trout fishing only this year. We did have pike previously in the past, but this year it's now lake trout. You're allowed to catch 3 lake trout, put them on the board. We'll be launching, landing, and camping out of French Bay, the French Bay campground. Start time 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Prizes after. So this event is a little bit different than the rest of the East Slope Classic events. There's a cap of 25 people. But that would be about the only change. This is a catch photo release event. All fishing must be done from a human-powered watercraft, as per trail rules. We also have a rules document separate from the waiver that you've previously signed. I'll have copies of that, and I'll send copies out probably tomorrow to the registered anglers, just to sign and hand into either Trevor or I when before we launch. So for this event, the boundary for fishing will be French Bay. So we can't launch just anywhere from the lake on this one. We got to stick within French Bay, and that's normally pretty good. Most of the paddlers in the past will travel out about a kilometer from the launch and set up on a drop off and fish away. Of course, barbless hooks only as well. And angler tags must be with you while on the water. If you don't have an angler's tag yet, please talk to Trevor or I, and we'll set you up with one, probably day of or the night before. Trevor will be there. I will be there as well. And your PFD must be worn at all times, or you will just be disqualified. And I think that's pretty much it for rules. Trevor, do you want to talk about accommodations for this one?
Yeah. So I know a lot of people were messaging back and forth. The campground at French Bay has 2 campgrounds, east and west. In the years past, a lot of people have stayed in the west campground because the boat launch is there. So what happened in this July is that they changed it over to online reservations, no longer first come, first serve anymore. So theoretically, people that were looking to get camp spots like myself, there was nothing available. So I know a few people have. I know John and Adrian got spot number 3 on the east side, and Mike and his dad Michelle got site number 4. And I know Barry Magicino, if I pronounced his last name correct, he is there currently right now. And he had mentioned to me that he was hooking up with some folks that were there that were nice enough to let him stay in their spot with him. But Jim Kind and I know some other folks had reached out and said, what are they going to do? So I spoke with the MD, and I literally just got off with the gentleman that runs the campground 25 minutes ago. And he said to us that we are allowed to camp, park along the waterfront edge, kind of berm on the west side of the west campground, right beside the boat launch. So folks that have been there before will be familiar with it. It's a big open area. There's lots of spots to park there. So if you guys are already registered in another campsite and you want to come over there, it's probably not a bad idea, just because we'll launch from there and we'll do all the prizes and everything and at the end over there as well too. But it's totally up to you. The only downside is there won't be any fires or anything like that, guys. But again, we're there for a kayak fishing tournament. We're not there for a big hoopla or anything like that. So we'll be there. Myself and Terry will be there with our trailer. I know there's going to be other folks coming, sleeping in their trucks, sleeping in tents. So Barry, if you're watching this or if you're listening to this after, if you want to park right along that berm, the gentleman's name that runs the campground, his name is Don. So if he comes around, he is aware that we are going to be having a kayak angling tournament this weekend on the 14th. He's aware that there'll be several people there. He would like to know from us how many will be there. So if you guys can just let me know who's there and who's going to be sleeping in a tent or a camper, we're allowed to park up amongst that berm. So Jim Kind, if you're watching or listening to this, you can reach out to me and I can fill you in more as well too. If not, you're more than welcome to really head out there and set up camp right there. We have a propane fire pit we'll be bringing as well too. So if it gets cool in the evening, it's going to be a long day out on the water, everybody. And Cold Lake's a big lake. If it gets windy, we obviously got to be safe and help one another for those that may not have pedal drives, stuff like that. So I encourage you guys to stay the night on the Saturday evening, rather than trying to drive back, if it's a long drive back, right? So we have at least accommodations to stay. So next year, this will be different, where we'll be proactive and make sure we have a large area to camp at with fire and all that jazz. So other than that, you guys can reach out to me. I have had some people ask me about bait in the lake, using that sort of thing. Provincial rules apply for that. So if you have any questions, you can read the regs books. That's your standard you need to follow for this derby. And like Chris said, it's 3 lake trout. Lake trout is the only species. However, it's 3 any size. So there's no size limit. So just keep catching and the app will auto call it. And the winner will be victorious. If anybody's looking to get some more people involved, it'd be great, because in order for the third place payout, we need 16 people to be registered for a third place payout. Right now, we have, is it 14 still, Chris?
I think it was 14 last I checked.
So we have, like Chris said, limited numbers of only 25. So people are thinking of coming out and they're on that edge. We need 16 people to make a third place payout. So it's $50. It's a great day of fishing. Even if you don't have a pedal drive, just come out. Just come out and enjoy lake trout fish, and there is nothing like it. It's one of the best species to catch. So hopefully you guys can convince a friend or a family member or anybody to come out. At least we have a place to camp. Nobody will be stuck anywhere. It's going to be a great event. The weather's going to be nice. So
yeah, the weather is supposed to be 31. Don't forget your sunscreen. It's traditionally a scorcher on the lake on this event anyway. Broden asked question, hopefully not the 24-foot rule, only for you. The rest of us can fish in any depth.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I say, we got a camper. I'm sure Jim will be bringing a camper if people are tenting it. We'll have water and stuff there too, right? And I think there's non-potable water there too for people that need it. So, Barry says it's still windy up there. It's windy down here too, Barry.
Yep.
I'm just wondering if Barry got any of that info I kind of said there at all.
Broden asked, what's the disadvantage of non-pedal drive kayak for Lakers? I wouldn't know.
You did your tuna on your phone?
Oh, but I didn't. I wouldn't say there is any disadvantage other than getting to the spot quicker.
Yeah.
That's it.
We kind of all just float around in a big group of people and jig.
Jig and reel up and jig and wait till it hits. And then when it hits, just hold on, because that's when the rodeo starts.
That's right.
So, yeah, no, it's literally, like Mike always says, just follow Jim, because Jim usually finds the bait balls, and hunker close to him and just drift. And then once you're drifted too close to shore and you're too shallow, just go back and do it all over again.
Perfect. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, if we don't have any more questions, I guess we'll see. We are heading out there early Friday morning ourselves, so we'll be out there pretty early in case anybody is looking for us. You guys can get me on Messenger, and you can probably create my cell phone. I'm not going to give it out here.
Sounds great. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right. See you guys.
See you out in the water.